I was born in Seoul, South Korea, and I was adopted when I was a baby. I grew up in northern Minnesota in Duluth. It's right on the edge of Lake Superior and the Boundary Waters Wilderness area. Growing up in Duluth, nature just became really integrated into your lifestyle because it's so easily accessible and it's all around you. I mean, the lake is right there and the woods are just around the corner.
I was born in China, but moved around a bit. I grew up in Texas, in a suburb outside of Dallas, and it was a pretty typical suburban upbringing. My parents were immigrants, so we didn't really spend a lot of time outside. I think my parents were just trying to provide for us, and they were always busy.
Luckily, I found Dan. Luckily, we were able to make a life together that also includes a lot of outdoor time and space. And now we're working on raising our son, Kai, to also enjoy outdoor time too. We met online through an online dating website. There was just an unspoken, common interest right from the get-go. And a lot of our early interactions were hiking, camping, biking. I remember our first date, Dan had asked me if I wanted to go for a hike. And at the time I was thinking yeah, we're gonna hike up a mountain. And so I showed up with this hiking boots and my camelback, and I had this day pack, and I was ready to go. But by hike, he meant we were gonna just walk up a hill, behind the football stadium.
It was like a 30-minute walk.
I was very much overdressed.
But I liked her enthusiasm. And I was definitely into that. And then, I could see where that was going because, a couple dates later, she took me winter camping.
I feel like we just started to one-up each other, subconsciously. Okay, fine, never mind winter camping. Let's go on a bike trip. And I think ultimately that's what led us to bike around the world and take the big grand adventure.
I started looking at a lot of blogs about people that were biking around the world, and I was like, these people are just like us. They're young, they don't have families to attend to, they're not rich, they're just normal people that just quit their jobs and decided to spend a couple years biking around the world. So I asked Kiri one day, I was like, hey, you want to bike around the world? And without skipping a beat, she was like, sure. And then it turned into our honeymoon.
It became so clear that this was within reach. A trip of this size, there was no way that we could plan, even the first week, because we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. And for me, I think that felt really freeing and exciting and a true adventure. I leave the bike trip on my resume because it's an experience that has truly shaped how I move through my work life, my personal life. It's without a doubt made me a more empathetic person. It's helped me to navigate change, difficult situations, stressful situations, hopefully with a little more grace, but also just general understanding of there's 20 different ways to do one thing.
Being able to span cultures and religions, and big cities, little villages, to get to see that diversity out in the world was really special, and we hold on to that.
Everywhere we went, there was just an enormous amount of hospitality, and people would stop us all the time and offer tea or coffee or open their homes up just everywhere we went. And you really got to see the similarities highlighted, and that to me was really really great in terms of a refresh on humanity and just a lot of positivity. Exceeded my expectation for sure. Kai is 2.5 years old. I'm really excited to get to know who he is, and it feels like parenthood is its own wild adventure with total surprises around every corner. I feel like the bike trip has really helped prepare us for constant state of change, constant state of surprise, things not going as you planned and having to roll with it. He teaches me a lot about patience, mostly patience, and compassion and empathy and just slowing down. I draw on the bike trip all the time for that. Yeah, and we're trying to raise Kai also to love biking, to love outdoor space, but most importantly to just connect with other people, to be friendly, to be kind.
Even when he was really little, we would take him cross-country skiing with us and hiking with us. We took him biking and canoeing. He now likes being outside quite a lot. Like, he probably prefers being outside than inside.
I think so.
I don't know if that's just who he is or because we made him come with us so much.
Well, just in general, really, there wasn't a lot of diversity in the outdoor space growing up, and as an adoptee, I really was nurtured to go into that space, I think, because of the privilege of being adopted by a Caucasian family. And, they helped me to occupy that space. I didn't ever really see a lot of other Asian folks out there. That became sort of my normal or standard. And I don't know that I really questioned that a lot until probably more recently, honestly, when we started to talk about becoming parents and how we wanted to raise Kai. And I think that there's a lot more energy for me, at least, to make sure that we show up and represent in these outdoor spaces, to hold that space for Kai and feel more included and inclusive in the outdoors.
I want to keep taking Kai on adventures so that he can have an adventurous spirit as he gets older. And, with Kai, it's an opportunity to really show him all these things about the world.
I think also there's just a simplicity to being outside, sort of waking up with the sun and sort of that realignment, just being in fresh air all the time feels really renewing to me, and everything feels so much more simple and clear, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I think everybody deserves to see that.